Lisa's summer hullabaloo introduction says, "We are each touched by grief and the resilience of the human spirit." She also wrote, "We each take on a world that is full of uncertainty and tango with the change happening around us all the time." She spoke of the fragility we all share, and it all resonated with me. For the longest time, I didn't realize how fragile we are, the world is. This despite having had PTSD for a couple decades, having close-up and personal experiences with grief and trauma, and working with other people who'd experienced grief and trauma. Bizarre, right? Somehow, there was a logic twist going on for me. Instead of seeing the world as full of uncertainty and us as fragile, I had the unconscious belief that life is fair and rather certain if you played your cards right. When things sucked, I knew I'd done something wrong, and if things sucked big time, then I was wrong. No, me. I was just wrong. But I didn't dwell on that much. None of this was conscious. Good heavens, I had eyes. I could see injustice and unfairness. If you'd asked me before my awakening, as it were, I would not have said that life was fair, but below what I could see or explain unconsciously, I thought life was fair, just, equitable. My below-the-surface belief went something like this. You play fair, you play by the rules, and you might not win, at least not every time, but justice will prevail. Cheaters will lose in the end, at least eventually, what with karma and all. But people who play by the rules, no, because life is fair. But then my innocence was shattered. A tragic situation, government agencies, court, lies, betrayals, and what I felt was a sickeningly wrong decision. Oh, shatter! I could almost hear my world crumble, taking my illusions of fair and safe and good right along with it. All of a sudden I knew deep in my bones that life is not fair. And then something else happened. A shift that's hard to explain, but that took a while. The only thing I can think of to explain that shift is my glasses. I've worn glasses since I was 7 or 8. I can't see without them. They're the first thing I pick up when I wake up, even if that's just to go around the corner to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Sometime during my late 30s, I decided to try contacts. What a change! The biggest thing I noticed about wearing contacts, bigger even than how much time it takes to clean, prepare, and insert the buggers, was that my glasses had been kind of a shield from me, a kind of barrier between me and others, something to hide behind. I vaguely knew that fiddling with them, pushing them up my nose or straightening them could come in handy for something to do with my hands, something distracting when I felt anxious or tense. That was even subtle, but, to me. It probably wasn't subtle to people watching me mess with it, but I didn't even realize that super consciously. But I had no idea that without my glasses, people were so much closer. I felt naked with contacts, much closer to people, and able to see them differently. After my world, my unconscious belief was shattered, I felt a lot like I did when I took my glasses off. I felt naked, but I also felt much closer to people. I learned how fragile our lives and our connections are. What we have is that we are all in this fragileness. I learned about strength that has nothing to do with control or perceived control, because really, I gained compassion and empathy untempered by an unconscious, twisted belief, because if I, deep down, believe that when the shit hits the fan, it's because of something I did wrong or because I am wrong, then what happens when it hits the fan for you? Though I was a compassionate person, a helping professional, my unconscious belief was like my glasses, something that subtly shielded me from other people and their pain. Well, that's my story of awakening to the fact that life is not fair, what that meant and means to me, how realizing this, something that many, many people realized long before they reached the age I was at when I became aware, how it broke my heart and nearly broke me, but ended up bringing me closer to other people and more aware of the moment, the joy, the peace, the all we can find in each moment.